Tesla reveals a brand new Cybertruck. Saudi Arabia has joined the chat. Tesla's unsupervised FSD expands again, and Giga Texas hits a new milestone. Tesla has released a new Cybertruck, and this is an announcement that has been eagerly anticipated by thousands of potential customers. Not because a new Cybertruck is better, it technically was, but it might also be exactly what Tesla needs to rescue their struggling pickup truck. This new model is officially called the Cybertruck Long-Range Rear-Wheel Drive, and it managed to defy expectations in some fascinating ways. Back when the original Cybertruck lineup was teased in 2019, we saw three options. Tri-motor and dual-motor were both released in 2023, but the single-motor truck was held back for a later date. The hopes remained high that Tesla could deliver on what was promised. Slightly less capability for significantly less money, the Everman Cybertruck. Now, did Tesla keep their promise? Yes and no. In our strangest revelation, the newest Cybertruck actually has the most range of any option by far. Instead of the 250-mile range advertised in 2019, this truck is now capable of up to 362 miles of range, with a caveat that we'll get into in a minute. But there's another number that has gone up significantly. Instead of the 2019 price estimate of $40,000, the new Cybertruck release is clocking in at $70,000, potentially lowering to $62,500 for U.S. customers with a federal EV tax credit for however long that continues to exist. Now, to be fair, that is still consistent with the original price estimate in the sense that the single-motor Cybertruck was listed at $10,000 less than the dual-motor, which is still the case today. Dual motor is $80,000. The only problem is that the percentages don't quite scale. Instead of coming in 20% cheaper, the new Cybertruck is only a 12.5% price reduction compared to its bigger brother. But you do get more for less in terms of range, which is pretty cool. Of course, you do have to sacrifice one electric motor and two front drive wheels to get it. That's the biggest difference. But there are about a dozen smaller changes that do need some investigation. The tonneau cover is perhaps the biggest change. There is no automated hardcover on the bed. It's wide open. Not only does this expose your stuff to the outside world, it also reduces your range. Air gets caught inside the bed and slows you down. The solution is to add a soft tonneau cover accessory, which is $750, and it's functional but definitely not a replacement for the hardcover. It's just kinda like a tarp that unrolls and clicks into the tailgate. It's definitely not going to be water-resistant or anti-theft, but it does a job, and it unlocks your 363 miles of range, unless, of course, you upgrade the wheels. The base model Cybertruck is going to come with 18-inch wheels and all-season tires. You can upgrade to the same 20-inch wheel and all-terrain tires of more premium trucks, but it will cost you $3,500 and 19 miles of range, which would eat into the value proposition of this base model truck by a large amount. The driving experience of this new Cybertruck is also going to be totally different. Not only is it much slower and with greatly reduced traction, it's also going to handle like a completely different truck. Tesla has removed the adaptive air suspension and replaced it with a traditional coilover spring setup. That doesn't necessarily mean it'll have a poor ride quality. It just means that you lose the ability to raise and lower the ride height to meet driving conditions. The rear light bar has also been deleted. There's just a black panel across the tailgate. There is no HEPA filter in this truck, meaning no bioweapon defense mode is available. Vegan leather seats have been replaced with cloth seats, which is more like a vertical move. They are both synthetic materials. Cybertruck engineer Wes Morrill even said that he likes the cloth seats better. But the new model has removed heaters from the rear seats and removed ventilation from the front seats. The power outlets are also deleted. Both 120-volt plugs and the 240-volt plug in the truck bed are gone, which is a very strange and unfortunate move. If Tesla wanted to pitch this as the working man Cybertruck, then they just took away something that was critical for doing work with the Cybertruck. The E-track along the inside of the bed is also gone for some reason. That's going to make it harder to secure payloads back there, and there's no subtrunk storage in the new bed. Also seems weird to remove. I guess that without the tonneau cover, you probably get water leaking in there. Maybe that's the reason. Lower horsepower and torque have resulted in lower payload capacity, down from 2,500 pounds to 2,007 pounds, and towing is down from 11,000 pounds to just 7,500. One nice plus is that you still get a locking rear differential in the Jeep Cybertruck, which might help you out in a pinch. Some comfort features are also downgraded. The sound system is cut in half, from 15 speakers to 7. They've also removed active noise cancellation, the rear seat media screen is gone, and the gas and brake pedals are being switched from aluminum to plastic. That's probably good news. They won't get stuck in the floor and kill you. Now, all that doesn't mean the Cybertruck is worthless or anything. It's just worth less. That said, it is the longest-range Cybertruck. Still has steer-by-wire and four-wheel steering, a 6.4 footbed, and still comes with all the cameras and the HW4 computer, meaning it's just as capable for autonomous driving as any other Tesla. So in the end, the choice is yours. The Cybertruck long-range rear-wheel drive is available for order in the USA, and deliveries begin June 2025. Meanwhile, Tesla has officially launched operations in Saudi Arabia, marking a significant step forward for both the company and the oil-rich kingdom's ambitious plans to embrace sustainable energy. The partnership kicked off with a high-profile event in Riyadh featuring the Cybertruck and a refreshed Model Y sedan. We also got this new video of a Cybertruck powering through the desert sands. The launch signals a change in relations between Elon Musk and Saudi leadership. Remember Elon's infamous funding secure tweet? That funding was allegedly supposed to have come from the Saudi Investment Fund. Elon thought they were committed to the deal, but turns out the funding was not secured, and that resulted in a big lawsuit and a whole lot of bad outcomes. This also comes at a critical time for Tesla, which reported a 13% drop in global sales during the first quarter of 2025, its weakest performance in nearly 3 years. There's also rising competition combined with political backlash against Elon himself, so opening up a whole new market to sell Tesla vehicles, in a place where they don't particularly care what Elon Musk does with his life and is also home to many extremely wealthy individuals. That's a big opportunity. But do Saudis even like electric cars? Oil is kind of their whole thing. Well, EVs accounted for just 1% of car sales in Saudi Arabia last year, so that's not promising. However, the country is targeting 30% EV adoption in its capital Riyadh by 2030 as part of its Vision 2030 plan to diversify the economy and cut urban emissions by half. The kingdom's public investment fund is already a major backer of Tesla rival Lucid Motors, and Arabian EV brand Seer is set to launch this year as well. Tesla's entry includes plans for online orders, pop-up stores in major cities, and the development of a supercharger network and service centers. Meanwhile, in Texas, Tesla has begun using its full self-driving technology to autonomously move newly built vehicles from the production line to the outbound lot at its gigafactory in Austin. Model Ys autonomously navigate a 1.4-mile trip on a road shared with pedestrians, cars, semi-trucks, construction equipment, and more. Cybertrucks drive themselves through the Boring Company's new Cybertunnel, a 0.6-mile route that goes underneath a highway, emerging through a steep 17% grade to reach their destination. This is the exact same process that we saw roll out at Tesla's Fremont plant earlier this year. The company reports that its FSD system has already logged over 50,000 miles of driverless operation between Texas and California. So not only does FSD make the vehicle delivery logistics much cheaper and more efficient, this also sets us up for the launch of Tesla's unsupervised robotaxi service in Austin this June. We are seeing what it looks like when Teslas actually drive themselves, and so far, it looks pretty good. This all comes as a Texas gigafactory celebrates a new production milestone. 400,000 vehicles have rolled off the production lines, most of the Model Ys, but also a few tens of thousands of Cybertrucks as well. The very first vehicle manufactured at Giga, Texas was back in August of 2021 during the factory's trial production. Elon Musk has said that the factory should eventually ramp up to a volume of 500,000 Model Y vehicles per year, which they should be on track for now that the production line has been switched over to the refreshed Model Y design and volume has ramped. Reports have also suggested that Tesla is already building production lines for the upcoming Cybercab, which is a two-seat robotaxi with no steering wheel or pedals. Elon's already targeting that one at a volume of 1 million or more units per year. Then there's a Tesla bot and the robo-van, future production lines that might also find their home inside the walls of gigatexas if they can fit.